What is going on, guys? The Inside the Boot podcast, and today we have our weekly picks. We're in week 12. We've done really well so far in these weekly picks every single week. We're over 500, and we're getting into a Thursday night slate. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, arguably the best team in the NFL. They've got one of the best defenses, and they're playing a terrible Browns team. I have the Steelers winning this, and I just think with this Steelers team, they've been really fun, right? I didn't expect this out of Russell Wilson / Justin Fields. I expected them to be that team that's middle of the pack, trying to fight for a playoff spot, and right now they seem pretty locked in to make the playoffs, clearly, with a 9-2 record. Getting into our next game, the Kansas City Chiefs. We said that they were going to lose to the Buffalo Bills, and they did, but they're taking on, I'd say, the worst roster in the NFL. They're 3-7, but they are the worst roster in my opinion. I don't think Bryce Young is very good. I don't know how the future is, and the Carolina Panthers just don't have enough pieces to even try to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. Getting into our next game, the Miami Dolphins, who are 4-6, taking on the New England Patriots, the 3-8. I think Drake May has been fun. I think Drake May has been a guy that I have liked as an NFL prospect. I think he's done solid overall during his time, but he's going to drop this game to the Miami Dolphins in a close one. Getting into our next game, pretty easy pick here with the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans are a disaster. Will Levis, I don't think is very good. They're going to have a top pick in the NFL draft, and a lot of these teams are going to have a top pick in the draft. It's just who is going to be who. Don't forget, we're going to get mock drafts coming soon for you guys as well. Getting into our next slate of games, the Detroit Lions, the team that is arguably, I'd say they're the best team in the NFC. I'd say they're better than the Eagles. Now it's more of, are they the best team in the NFL? I think there's a real chance there, and I honestly think they kill the Colts again. They've been putting up a lot of points, man. They put up a ton of points against the Jaguars, who are not a good NFL team, and are probably soon to fire Doug Peterson. And now the Detroit Lions are just going to come into Indianapolis now and probably defeat them by a large margin. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys. They got smoked against the Houston Texans. Joe Mixon had 3 touchdowns. They recovered a touchdown. And Dallas has yet to win in AT&T, but they head to Washington against a team that has been very, very solid this year. 7-4 record. They did drop a game to the Philadelphia Eagles, but that was kind of their wake-up call that what they were going to get into with the NFC East. We know that the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants are not good, right? They are going to be contending for a top pick in the NFL draft. This was really, what type of Jaden Daniels are we going to get? Are we going to get the Jaden Daniels that we've seen all year? But we didn't really get a good look at Jaden Daniels. He wasn't particularly good, and they ended up dropping that game to the Philadelphia Eagles. But getting into another NFC East team, the New York Football Giants. No more Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is done for now. Might return back to the starting role, but he's officially not a starter. It's Tommy DeVito, and the backup is not even Daniel Jones. It's Drew Lock. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are too good of an NFL team. For me, I know they're 5-6, but I think they've dropped some games that they probably could have won. And honestly, despite Baker Mayfield not having enough weapons, with Mike Evans out and Chris Godwin out, I still think I like their team much better than I do with the New York Football Giants. And they kind of honestly can't really win football games, the Giants. They had a bye week, and they still managed to lose the bye week with multiple teams losing, like the Raiders, Browns lost, I'm pretty sure. So that was rough. Getting into an NFC North matchup as we get into the next slate of games. Tons of good games upcoming, for sure. But the Minnesota Vikings are a team. I'm kind of confused on these score predictions that they're giving. The Bears are not good, but the Bears, Caleb Williams played good last week. Rome Odunze played good last week. So they had some good things that happened. But overall, the Vikings are too good with Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, T.J. Hawkinson is back, a elite defensive front, elite defense overall. I don't think the Bears are going to be doing much, and if I'm not mistaken, that's 5 straight losses for the Bears. I think they were 4-2. Getting into our next game, Shadur Sanders really might be a Raider. Bo Nix has been really fun. I think he's arguably been the best QB in the draft so far, aside from probably Jaden Daniels and Drake May. But 7-5 for the Broncos, I think, is a very good season for them. Getting into probably our tougher matchups to make with the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know why they're not letting me. There we go. All right. Final games are the Arizona Cardinals against the Seattle Seahawks. This is the game. It's just the biggest game of the season for both of these squads because if the Seattle Seahawks win, they have a chance to win the NFC West, and I think if the Cardinals win, they might have it locked up. San Fran, I've been so high on them every single week, but they're 5-5, and I don't really know where they're gonna go with this season. But we're gonna take the Arizona Cardinals here. Let's take Seattle. Let's make it fun. Let's take Seattle. Let's take Seattle here. Now, I'll tell you this. If the Arizona Cardinals win, wouldn't shock me. Kyler Murray has been fun to watch. He's a great fantasy QB, but that's not what it takes. Arizona's having a nice season so far. And the NFC West is very competitive with all the teams. I mean, the Rams are 5-5 at the bottom of your screen. The 49ers are 5-5. And then if the Seahawks win, they're 6-5 along with the Arizona Cardinals. But I'm going to take Green Bay to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what's going on. I think Kyle Shanahan might get fired if this is the season and the team that he has. I think it's going to be a really good game. Wouldn't be shocked if the San Francisco 49ers pull this off and make it a very competitive division. But we're going to take the Green Bay Packers, and we'll make it a fun score, 26 to 21. Philadelphia Eagles heading into LA. Jalen Hurts has been better. AJ Brown is there. Devontae Smith. I think the Rams are good, but I feel like this Seattle team, not the Seattle team, I feel like this Eagles team has been just such on a roll that, like, what is going on now? Finally, the offense is starting to wake up. They beat the Commanders. They're having a lot of impressive wins, and this is kind of the not Seattle. I keep saying Seattle. This is the Philadelphia team that we remember, where they just go into places and they just beat teams up. I think it's a real situation here again. And then the final game, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens over the LA Chargers for the final game of the slate. But that's going to be doing it for all the games. Of course, Pittsburgh wins, Kansas City wins, Miami wins, Houston wins, Detroit wins, Washington, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Denver, Seattle, Green Bay, Philadelphia, and Baltimore all get wins. But thank you guys, and that's going to do it for our weekly picks.